So that's amazing, man. And so can you talk about this? Because I think I've asked you this before. I know, did this change you as a salesperson? Do you think that your ability, because you train salespeople now and you've taught people how to sell, do you think that these experiences you've gone through hitting rock bottom have made you better as an entrepreneur and made you better as a salesperson?
100%. Because worst case scenario, I'm not going back to jail.
Yes.
Right.
So
if I lose
survival instinct.
Yeah. If I lose
you're on the call,
business,
you're survival. Got it. Yeah.
I got nothing to lose. They're not going to hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be on a sales call and they beat me up. That's not going to happen. So I really have nothing to fear. And, but sales really comes down. They call me the hardcore closer. That was my style years ago. The consumer's smarter now.
Yeah.
And if I called you or one of my guys calls you and I start with some fancy sales lingo, you're going to be like, bro, I'm a salesman too.
Yeah.
And my ideal client is someone like you. They're already a successful person.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to pull some, base level sales skills on them or anything impressive that's going to blow their mind, most likely either. So what I've really learned is sales comes from two things: empathy and confidence. If your empathy comes from just listening to somebody and letting them know that you actually care about them and want to solve whatever problem that your sales thing might solve for them. And the confidence comes from knowing your product works in the scenarios it works in, right? Like if someone comes to me and they're like, I want to know how to smash a bunch of models. I'm like, dude, you're going to have to go to Michael.
My girlfriend watches this. I'm in deep shit.
I don't know anything about that, man. I have like a wife for 9 years and 4 kids. And, I don't know anything about that. And so that's just, this is how it is.
Sure.
Right? Yeah,
for
this
sure.
is real
For sure.
shit.
I love this. You said not believing you deserve the sale. With a lot of new sales guys on our team, we have this issue. What generally happens for us is that it gets to a point where because most of the guys that we hire as salespeople come from my course and it worked for them. So when they're on the call, they're not selling them, they're saving them. That's the way they see it. Can you talk about this? You said that it's good to have salespeople and not yourself, because like you might close a guy on 20K, but like because you feel like he's your friend, you give him for 5, and you start giving him all these deals. Whereas having somebody different, it's also kind of the same thing for having a personal assistant. For me, I just say no to no one. I go on everyone's show all the time. Having a personal assistant, somebody willing to say no. Can you talk about this idea of like not believing you deserve the sale?
For the salesperson, not believing they deserve the sales, typically because they didn't earn it.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's like the number one big belief is like someone comes in, Michael, I'm selling cars. You come in and you're like, hey, I want that car right there for this price. I'm like, damn, that's a done deal.
Yeah.
Then most salespeople feel like they didn't earn that. They didn't do anything for it. So they don't ask for referrals. Right. And they don't try to build and expand upon that relationship with the person, because most salespeople are self-deprecating because we've been told our whole lives that salespeople are bad guys.
Yes.
You watch Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, rich sales guy, bad guy, right? He's on drugs and hookers and stealing money from the government. You look at Gordon Gekko with Wall Street. Gordon Gekko's a bad guy. He's scamming stocks, and that's how he got rich. And we look at all these horrible examples of salespeople, Boiler Room, and so on and so forth. Any kind of sales movie, Glenn Ross, he's talking shit to these guys and stuff, and we're demonized, like almost like a pit bull. Right. Yeah. Pit bulls are the greatest lovers. They just want to be good dogs. And one of them bites somebody once a year and the whole media acts like there's a pit bull frenzy. You know what the greatest sales movie is of all time? What do you think it is? In your opinion, right? I don't have any facts to base this
movie. I mean, I still love The Wolf of Wall Street. I like
it's a great movie.
Yeah, because when people, I've done that before where I'm with my guys. I'm like, I'm not fucking leaving. I've literally done that before. But I don't know, man. Maybe Boiler Room. Maybe I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. Okay.
Because Tommy Boy is real life salesperson. He's put in situations. Father passes away. Now he's got to go get a job. He gets a mentor. Mentor sits in every sales meeting with him and corrects him and helps him and trains him along the way. Eventually, the mentor's told him enough times that he's an idiot, and he gets better and he starts closing sales. Then he catches the confidence of closing the first sale.
Yeah.
Closes 2, 3, goes back, saves the factory, becomes the CEO, gets the girl. That's real sales. But Tommy Boy's like just a comedy. We don't think of it. You probably never even thought of that as a salesman. That's the most realistic rendition of a salesperson in a sales movie ever. Just a happy, want to serve people, trying to figure out how the hell to get ahead as a salesperson. But we're looked at as the Jordan Belforts more than we are the Chris Farleys.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I could definitely say I have this one analogy where I say the greatest book on dating ever. You know what it is? It's $100 million offer
Yeah.
by Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
It's like having an offer so good she can't possibly say no.
Right.
Right. And I'm
That
sure
is a great book.
he never thought of it that way, but it's like I throw these events and I'm like, I want beautiful women to show up. We just have a bigger, better offer than anyone else. And I literally stole that idea from reading Alex Hormozy's book. And this is another thing you actually talk about offers is having an offer in 3 sentences. I frequently have guys that will come on my free calls and they'll pitch me an idea for a business and they'll stutter and it'll be 17 sentences long and they'll give me a contextual whatever. And then I'm like, can you explain this again in 3 sentences? So like my company, local celebrity, I teach you how to become a local celebrity. You understand that? That's 2 words.
There you go.
Right. And it kind of makes sense. It's like every restaurant, every big restaurant should know who you are when you walk in. Every pretty girl in the city should at least have some aspect of who you are when you go out. Local celebrity. You should have no trouble getting into any club.
Right.
That's all I want. Right. That's what I would do for my that makes sense. It's
simple.
Very simple.
It's understandable.
2 words. Local celebrity. Easy.
Yep.
In your situation, you talk about you need to be able to do an offer or pitch in 3 sentences. Can you go over that? Because that is something I've been trying to pound into my clients' heads.
Well, you ever have somebody that's, and you just kind of said this, but somebody that's trying to tell you what they sell and you're like, today, Junior, what the fuck do you sell? Just tell me. Like there's people that you ask them what they sell and their life insurance sales are like, well, I sell infinite banking, which allows blah, blah, blah. Just tell me you sell life insurance, bro. That makes sense. A lot of people don't know what infinite banking is. So now you're trying to tell them that you sell infinite banking and they never heard of it. They got to go Google it, study it, learn about it, and master it before they go do business with you. Whereas they already heard of insurance. You're confusing them by trying to look smart when you're selling to dumb people in the first place.
Influencer management. You mean you tell girls to go fuck themselves on OnlyFans and then sell their film. It's like, that's what you're confusing the women.
Exactly. And so here's how you make an offer. And obviously Alex's book is the best to ever do it at that.
Yeah.
But Frank Kern taught me this a long time ago. It's very simple. How to get X. X represents what they want without having to do Y. Y represents what they don't want. How to get sick, how to get abs without exercising. How to get hot chicks without being rich, right? So it's like, what do they want with what do they don't want? How to become a local celebrity. So you don't get kicked out of so that now you're allowed in all of the events and all the chicks know who you are.
And,
right?
and people will ask you to come speak at their events.
Exactly.
I want that level of just like TEDx.
Yep.
I'm not going to make you a 10. I'm going to get like a 3 on the fame scale. That's what I want.
But you're a lot like me. If someone asks me, hey, what do you do for a living? I could go 50. I could be a rancher, a software person. I'm like a multifaceted superhero when you ask me that question. So we can sit there all day. But if I'm telling you I do this and I do this and I do this, and then we flash forward and I'll do this and I do this, you're going to lose interest and be like, this dude's got ADD or he's a liar or he's all over the place. He's successful at nothing. But if I come in, it's like, hey, what do you do? I own a software company that allows people to create a website without any training from their mobile device in like 5 minutes.
Incredible.
Perfect. Everybody
and I
understands it. Absolutely. Everybody understands that. And that's the key. Simplicity sells. Keeping it simple sells. I know in the Navy, they say keep it simple, stupid, but I like keeping it simple sells because it does. Because a lot of salespeople, the reason why they miss the sale is because they arm the prospect with too much information. So now they got to make sure they're making the right decision. I used to watch loan officers do this. They would go in and they would say, okay, well, here's how the bond market works, and it could adjust this way, and maybe your interest rate will be over here. But if the Fed comes out and says this, then the interest rate could do this. So now the person's like, fuck, I need to go take trigonometry to figure out how to get a fucking mortgage.
Stop telling them
right?
shit. Stop snitching on yourself.
I'm over there like, what you want? They're like, a house. Cool, $1,200 a month. Done. That was it. Yeah. The fuck do I need to explain the bond market to them for? Now they're having to worry if I'm fucking them. Now they're like, well, we won't lock our rate in because we're trying to float the market because apparently the Fed's doing. It's like, oh shit, now I'm out of a commission, right? It's like, instead, just be very simple. Nobody wants a mortgage anyway. They want a house.
Yeah.
A mortgage is the bridge to getting that house. It's the thing they don't want, but have to take in order to get the thing they want. So I don't sell them the thing they don't want, a 30-year, shackle around their leg, keeping them from doing anything that they might want to do. I want to sell them their dream home.